People have been exchanging goods and ideas on a global scale for millennia. But in the past few decades, since the fall of the Berlin Wall, the opening up of capital markets, the rise of information technology, and the reduction in trade tariffs, the pace of global connectivity has greatly increased as many countries and people have entered into a single global economy of exchange. Although the initial phases of economic globalization may be behind us today, soaring flows of cross-border data channeled through the internet are taking globalization to new levels. Today, 1 billion people are coming online every 5 years as digital platforms are coordinating ever more spheres of economy and society. The level of globalization fostered by the information revolution is altogether unprecedented in human history, as the speed with which information, transactions, and capital can travel virtually anywhere on the planet enables the sustained coordination of human activity at a new scale and level of complexity. This series of short films documents this fast-changing landscape at the intersection of globalization and the ongoing expansion of information networks.
Third wave. In recent decades, Southeast Asia's economic and social development has been ruled by the rise of the middle class. Development, as more people move to cities, they have better access to jobs, education, and services, which helps the middle class grow. Education and skills, improve access to education and vocational training has enabled individuals to secure better paying jobs, which supports middle class expansion. The middle class in Southeast Asia is diverse, with varying levels of income, consumption patterns, and views on society.
First relation of globalization to Asia. Regions in Asia that impacted by globalization. Now, the 5 regions in Asia are East Asia, Southeast Asia, South Asia, Central Asia, and West Asia. Number 1. East Asia. The countries China, Japan, Korea, North Korea, Mongolia, and Taiwan. Known for ancient civilization like China and Japan, East Asia has a rich cultural heritage and is highly industrialized, especially in technology and manufacturing. China is the most populous country in the world, while Japan is the one largest economies. 2. Southeast Asia. The countries are Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, Singapore, Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, Brunei, and the last Timor-Leste. The characteristic, a region of great ethnic diversity, Southeast Asia is a mixed cultures influenced by Indian, Chinese, and Western traditions. It has a tropical climate change and is home to many island and coastal areas. Number 3. South Asia. The countries are India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, and Maldives. The characteristic of this South Asia is densely populated, with India being the second most populous country in the world. 4. Central Asia. The countries is Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and the last, Tajikistan. The characteristic of this is Central Asia is a landlocked region, historical, influenced by a Silk Road and nomadic culture. It is characterized by vast steppes, deserts, and mountainous regions. 5. Western Asia at Middle East. The countries are Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Iran, Iraq, Syria, Jordan, Lebanon, Israel, UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, Yemen, Cyprus, Armenia, Georgia, and the last is Azerbaijan. The characteristic of this, often referred to as the Middle East, this region is known for its rich history and significant role in global geopolitics. It is the birthplace of major religions like Islam, Christianity, and Judaism.
The Asian tigers comprising South Korea, China, Taiwan, Singapore, and Hong Kong have achieved remarkable economic progress due to collaboration between state and business elites in decision-making and policy implementation. However, the IMF and the World Bank's financial assistance to some Asian regions has led to massive corruption, patronalism, and financial crisis, such as Philippines' debt crisis. Economic crises are often caused by poor policies, weak governance, corruption, poor institutions, and misuse liberalization and democracy. While liberalization can lead to economic growth, it also has negative consequences, including non-standard employment, part-time employment, unemployment, and underemployment. Some critics argue that the country's democracy should not be judged solely by Western standards, as democracy can sometimes be used to personal gain.
Kimura's statement highlights how globalization has significantly benefited Asia Pacific and South Asia, focusing on several keys. Number one is the economic recovery and advancement. Japan, after World War II, underwent a remarkable economic recovery from the 1950s to 1970s. It emerged as a leader in technological innovations, particularly in robotics and electronics, enhancing its manufacturing sector. Number two is the China's economic growth. China has transformed into a major global economic player, particularly noted for its substantial demand for raw materials, surpassing even the World Bank in terms of import volumes. This growth reflects its expanding industrial and economic activities. Number three is the remittances and economic impact. In the Philippines, remittances from Filipinos working abroad contribute significantly to the national economy, accounting for 11% of the total income. This illustrates the critical role of overseas labor in supporting the country's economic stability. Number four is the regional cooperation and development. Kimura argues that regional cooperation among Asian countries, facilitated by globalization, could serve a catalyst for further economic development. By integrating with the global economy, these countries can enhance their growth, prospect, and mutual benefits. In essence, Kimura's observation underscores how globalization has provided diverse opportunities for economic advancement in Asia Pacific and South Asia, driven by technological progress, trade dynamics, and labor mobility.
Second, relationship of Asia to globalization. Regionalism as a springboard of Asia in globalization. Asia played a crucial role in globalization during industrialization, with Westerners seeking their resources from the continent. Many Asian civilizations, such as those in West Asia, India, and China, were already highly advanced with established technologies, industries, and intellectual systems long before Western colonization. These regions had rich tradition in literature, philosophy, and science. However, other areas like the Philippines were still developing their cultural and societal structures when colonizers arrived. For instance, Philippine literature and language were evolving when the Spanish colonized the islands. Colonization often accelerated or disrupted these development processes, influencing the trajectory of local cultures and economies.
The Asia Monetary Fund was to provide financial stability and support for Asian economies, particularly in times of economic crisis. The AMF aimed to enhance regional financial cooperation and stability by pooling resources and coordinating economic policies among its member countries. The Asia Monetary Fund, which was proposed with an initial capital of $100 billion and aimed to include 10 Asian countries: China, Hong Kong, Japan, South Korea, Australia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, and the Philippines, According to Ihito Kimura Shiraishi, 2014 worked its initiative faced opposition from the United States, which effectively blocked its establishment. Kimura agreed that AMF represents potential alternative to Western-led globalization. He believed that such alternative could foster creator cooperation, mutual respect, and regional solidarity among Asia countries. In sense, Kimura is suggesting that strong regional institutions and collaboration might offer a different model from the current Western-dominated global economic system.
In layman's terms, regionalism is a way of influencing people out of their comfort zone in terms of their religion. This is a way of subconsciously taking over an area using their beliefs without making them realize and they're already taken over. It's a different way of globalization in a much more unnoticeable way.
According to Barber, the term macworld in globalization describes how westernization can lead to cultural homogenization and destroy cultural diversity. This is evident in the contrast between Shanty Life and Starbucks customers, whereas consumerism intensifies social class divisions. Globalization is replacing social life and cultural practices with international franchises, such as fast food chains like McDonald's and others. This phenomenon extends beyond food to other cultural dimensions like music, clothing, film, and beauty standards. As Hito Kimura Shiraishi, 2014 notes, it is essential to be aware of globalization's significant impact on culture and society.
Political aspect. The decreasing influence of the nation-state and the emergence of new players in politics is one of the main effects of political globalization. Political globalization can be seen by the founding and continued existence of the United Nations.